Hello students, welcome to another day. Today we are going to discuss on the topic lines and angles, class 7 mathematics. Basic terms and definitions. Line, a straight path extending in both directions with no end point is called as a line. Line segment, a part of a line that includes 2 points called endpoints and the points between them are called as a line segment. A ray, a part of a line with one endpoint that continues without end in one direction. Angles. An angle is a figure formed by two rays sharing a common endpoint called as the vertex of the angle. The magnitude of the angle is the amount of rotation that separates the two rays and can be measured by considering the length of a circular arc swept out when one ray is rotated about the vertex to coincide with the other. Types of angles: acute angle, right angle, obtuse angle, straight angle, complementary angle, supplementary angle, adjacent angle, linear pair of angles, vertically opposite angles. Acute angle. Now, in the slide, the diagrams of acute angles are displayed. The measure of an angle with the measure between 0 degree and 90 degree or with less than 90 degree radian is termed as an acute angle. For example, the first figure, which is 18 degree, second one 45 degree. So all the angles between 0 to less than 90 degree are called as acute angle. Examples of acute angle are shown on the screen. Now, right angle, an angle formed by the perpendicular intersection of two straight lines. An angle of 90 degree is the right angle. Examples of right angles, it displays the pictures of right 90 degree angles are displayed. Then comes the obtuse angle. Obtuse angle, opposite to the acute angle, we have the obtuse angle. An angle measures greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree are termed as obtuse angle. Now, the first figure, which has 135 degree, is greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree. These angles are called as the obtuse angles. Examples of obtuse angles are displayed on the screen. Straight angle. As shown in the diagram, the straight angle changes the direction to the point the opposite way. It looks like a straight line. It measures 180 degree, half a revolution or two right angles. Examples of straight line is a scale or the other pictures examples given in the screen. Now, complementary angles. When the sum of the measures of two angles is 90 degree, the angles are called complementary angle. For example, the sum of the measures of two angles is 90 degree. For example, here the first is 30 and the second diagram gives a 60 degree angle. So, sum of both the angles gives a measure of 90 degree. This is called as a complementary angle. Supplementary angle, when the sum of the measures of the two angles is 180 degree, it is called a supplementary angle. For example, as shown in the figure, the first diagram shows 60 degree, whereas the second shows 120 degree. So 120 degree plus 60 degree gives a 180 degree. Thus, it's called as a supplementary angle. Adjacent angle. In geometry, adjacent angles are the angles that have a common ray coming out of the vertex going between the two other rays. In other words, they are angles that are side by side or adjacent. Linear pair of angles, a pair of adjacent angles formed by intersecting lines. Linear pair of angles are supplementary. Then we have the vertically opposite angles, which are vertically opposite to each other. Thank you, students, for patiently listening to the class. For today's homework, write the definition of adjacent angles and supplementary angles in your math notebook. Thank you.